The Auburn men's basketball team is 2-0, looking to go 3-0 as they travel to Tampa to take on South Florida. On today's Auburn Basketball Weekly, we'll be joined by Auburn guard Zac Jasper, as well as Auburn basketball coach, Coach Prewett.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. And of course, this is our third week covering the Auburn basketball season as Locked On Auburn presents Auburn Basketball Weekly every Monday at 6 o'clock Central Time. We'll be joined by Zac Jasper, of course, every week, as we are today, and then Coach Prewett as much as we possibly can, Coach Chad Prewett, when he's not scouting folks. When we record this is when they do a lot of scouting, so I always tell them and make the joke that is definitely more important. But hey, the Tigers 2-0 as they defeated ULM this past Friday, 93-65, thanks to a strong second half, both offensively and defensively. And then, of course, they won their season opener against Morehead State, 77-54. Jabari Smith was a huge factor in the second half against ULM. I think we finally got to see him really take that step and say, okay, this is the kind of offensive player that we've heard about ever since he committed and ever since Auburn was really recruiting him. That he looked incredible. The relentless defense, that is definitely a theme in my conversation with Zep and my conversation with Chad Prewett throughout this show today. But all in all, this Tigers team likes where they're at. And a big storyline going into the season was, okay, can they gel together early? And how long is it going to take for them to kind of come together as a team? To me, they're already ahead of schedule in that regard. And we'll hear what Coach Prewett has to say about that as he manages this team and a ton of talent and the personalities that come along with it. So early break here, and then we will jump into a conversation with Zac Jasper. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. And with college basketball now in season, Prize Picks is the way to really, I mean, if you know your stuff, you can win a whole lot of cash. I mean, they've got a ton of different props from all over college basketball, as well as college football, NFL, NBA, baseball when it's in season. They've got everything from points to rebounds to when you want to go to football. I mean, you can even go down to like interceptions thrown. So they've got a ton of stuff going on there. And when you go to Prize Picks, just use promo code Locked On. You'll get an instant 100% match up to $100. Just use promo code Locked On. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com today. Use promo code Locked On or go to your app store to download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. All right, joining us now here on Locked On Auburn, number 12 on the court, number 1 in our hearts, Zac Jasper, Auburn guard. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, man. I am good. Congrats on the 2-0 start. I know you're excited about that. That's always kind of the goal, right? How do you feel about those first 2 wins?
Oh, I feel great about the first 2 wins, getting our feet wet, coming into the season. It always feels good to get a 2-0 start. Just getting our rhythm, trying to adjust to the game and, us bonding together. I think we had a great start so far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What was it like playing in front of people? I know that was something you were excited about. Did it live up to kind of what you expected it to be, at least early on in the season?
Oh yeah. I think the fans, brought the energy. That what makes Auburn. That what makes us play harder. That what makes the home court advantage so good for us. I think they brought excellent energy. I enjoy the fans here. I love them here. So far, they've been loyal to me, so I'm gonna be loyal to them and play hard as I can on the court.
Absolutely, man. So that first half against ULM, a little bit shaky. Then you guys came out in the second half and absolutely essentially scored at will. What was the difference? What changed from the first half to the second half?
Well, I think we wasn't playing hard. We wasn't living up to our expectations. I think we came out just on some type of things like we're going to just beat this team. We're just going to run this team over. But in the locker room before the game, coach was telling us this team is going to come out with a fight. They just lost to LSU at LSU by 30 or 40 points. So, their coach is going to, hype them up to live to the expectations of coming in Auburn,
Sure.
At least play hard, at least try to get the win. So we knew coming to the game that they're going to put up a fight. It was just about us seeing if we can expect us to, be ready to play. Because, when you see a team lose by 30 or 40, in your mind, you're not ready to play. You feel like, as you rank number 22, Auburn, we rank 22. So you expect us to just bow down and just go out there and just play and just beat them off our talent. But as everyone's seen, they seen we was down at 2.5 just because we wasn't playing hard. We was missing cues out there on the court, missing plays, missing wide open shots, missing layups. We just wasn't looking like ourselves. And, going into halftime, we went in the locker room, told ourselves we got to pick it up. We got to do everything we was asked to do that whole week doing scout versus ULM. And we told ourselves we're going to come out second half and, come out with a bang and go hard as we can. And as you see, we didn't let them score nothing but like 21 points second half. And, we hold ourselves accountable to that.
What kind of discussion was had at halftime? Was it something that needed to be said, or did BP just kind of have y'all sit and stew in it for a little bit because he knew you guys had to know what he was about to say? What did that look like?
Well, he didn't say too much.
Yeah.
He really just told us we got to come out second half, better than we came out the first half. We wasn't ready to play. He told us, and as a team, we talked in the locker room and told ourselves, like, we got to do something different. We got to come out playing harder. And as you see, the first 5 minutes, we came out playing super hard, and shots was going down, defense was flowing, everything was just on the right cue. So he really didn't say too much. He just wanted us to pick our intensity level up and play hard as we can.
Right. No, and y'all clearly did. I mean, it's so fun watching a basketball team, and preferably it be Auburn, when you're in that moment, especially in the second half, later in the game, where it doesn't seem like anybody wants to miss. And even if they tried, they couldn't miss. I mean, everybody was just so on. And I think you hit a 3 during that span as well. I mean, it's just, you guys are scoring at will. What's going through your mind when everybody's doing that? That's got to be the most fun version of basketball to play.
When everybody's scoring, I'm a team player type guy.
Sure.
I don't care if I score 0 points, 2, 3, 10, 11. As long as my teammates happy, I'm happy. Like, I think it was a play. I had a fast break. I actually could have dunked the ball, but I gave it to Jalen Williams because I felt like I wanted to get my teammate on the board. I feel like that dunk, me getting that past my teammate, seeing him on the break, getting that dunk, that gets me excited because I know he had 4 fouls. He was in foul trouble, and he ain't scored yet. So me doing that, it actually was heartwarming to me because, he had just lost his grandma. And to see him get a basket in that game, it excited me. And to see my teammates happy and them scoring, getting amp on the court, doing all types of things and just helping the team. And I just love that type of energy from this team.
Sure.
And I think we're going to have a big year. If we keep doing those type of things, being excited for each other on the court, I think we can take this a long way.
You mentioned him being in foul trouble. It seemed like the whole team was, because there were a lot of fouls called in that game. You being an aggressive defender and a guy that likes to play defense, we've talked about this before. How do you kind of have that balance, Zep, of, okay, I need to be aggressive, but also, it hurts my team if I foul somebody in this situation? How does that work out? Is that practiced? I mean, what goes through your mind in that situation?
Well, the first game, I was in foul trouble.
Right.
Because I was a little too aggressive. It's all about how the refs call a game when I'm playing defense. So like I said, first game, I was just aggressive, trying to every time I see the ball out loose, I'm going to go for it as in first game. But as in second game, I wasn't more aggressive trying to get the ball from the opponent. But I still caused pressure and I still caused turnovers. And the way I look at it, how I play defense, I look at the shot clock.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at the shot clock because I always pressure the ball up to about 10, 9 seconds. And once you get to 10, 9 seconds, you basically out of sync of your play. So when I look at the clock, I realize I can back up in the offensive player have to come to me when I'm playing defense. So when he comes to me, I feel like I can move my feet and dictate where he goes. when he's trying to score the basketball.
Right. No, I think that's an insightful answer. I appreciate you sharing that. So you guys are off for a week, in the sense of you guys played Friday and you don't play again until this Friday when you travel to Tampa. So a little more time in between games, what you guys will have going in, throughout the season. What do you guys do with that extra few days?
Well, we're gonna practice hard and get ready for South Florida. Treat every day from now on, right now, and go hard as we can. Like we only can go hard. That's the only thing we can do. The way you practice is the way you're gonna play.
Sure.
And you probably didn't hear a lot of people say that, but it's really a true saying. The way you practice is the way you're gonna play. And I believe, with this team, we have to practice hard to be ready to play. We can't just come into South Florida and think we're just gonna win. I seen South Florida. They lost a game to Georgia Southern the other night. So I feel like it's going to be another ULM type of game. Like, they lost. They're going to be ready to play. They want to get a win. And Auburn we're a great team. Who wouldn't want to beat Auburn? Like, that's bragging right. So, us coming in, I think we got to get well prepared this week and treat every day like a good day. No days off. Like, go hard as you can. Mm-hmm. As soon as we go hard as we can, Friday, I believe we'll be ready to play South Florida on Friday.
It sounds like they're a pretty athletic team. Is that what you've seen when watching tape?
Oh, yeah. I watched tape of them like a couple of days ago. They're an athletic team. Got a great point guard. He's actually from Georgia. He was one of the top 100 top guards in the nation when he was coming up. And I think they'll be a pretty athletic team. They like to run. And I just think we got to come into this game with the mindset of no matter who we playing, we got to go hard. Like we got to. Auburn, no matter who on their chest, we got to come out hard.
Have you been to Tampa before? Have you ever been down there for vacation or to play a game or anything?
I actually never been to Tampa to play a game. This actually my first time to play a game. But okay. the arena we playing in is the arena we be playing in the SEC championship. So I think it'd be very cool just to go down and get a feel of the gym because we'll be back there in March.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that, but yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So that's cool, man. That's cool. So the second half against ULM, it was really fun to watch Jabari kind of come into his zone. I think it's the first time Auburn fans have really saw him say, okay, I can take over a game scoring if I need to. Is that kind of what you guys see from him in practice? I mean, we heard nothing but incredible things about him coming out of practice as you guys were getting ready for the season.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Jabari, he got a lot of things in his bag. And that was the first time, Auburn fans seen what he really can do.
Right.
He showed he's a player. He can play 1 through 5. He can go out 1 through 5. He can shoot it. He can drive it. He can play defense. He can do everything a coach wants him to do. And I just love that he lived up to the expectations, versus ULM. And I think, versus South Florida and UConn, next 2 games coming up, I think these games going to be very important for him because, like I say, UConn would be a very important game for just us, period, because they're a top 25 team. Right. And we haven't played a top 25 team yet. But, having good games, Jabari Smith having good games like against those guys, he live up to the expectations as much as he can. And, it makes me happy because, you see him on these draft boards and you see all these other players in the country getting love all on ESPN, but where's Jabari Smith? Like, I don't respect it because I feel like he should be up there with those guys too. He just had a 23-point game. Why is he ain't on ESPN?
You think he will be by the end of the season?
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. He will be on there by the end of the season. And I promise you he will. And he's going to live up to what people expect him to be. And he's going to show people why he's one of the best players in the nation.
Sure. Absolutely. Zep, congratulations on going 2-0 and best of luck this Friday in Tampa against South Florida. Appreciate your time as always, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much to Zep. Coach Prewett will join us in just a moment. But first, today's show brought to you by our friends at Built Bar. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar ever. There's a ton of different flavors, all high in protein, all low in calories, low in sugar. They're good for you. They legitimately taste great. They taste like a candy bar. There's nothing to dislike about Built Bars. And head over to built.com. They've got a ton of other really cool products if you're into fitness. And I love their Built Boost packets. You mix it with your water, and it kind of gives you some vitamins and energy that you need to tackle the day. They've got bone broth if you're into that sort of thing. But a ton of different things going on at built.com, including you can check out all the limited edition flavors of Built Bars that they have going on there. So built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15, to get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off. That's at built.com. All right, joining us now, Coach Chad Prewett, hanging out with us here for a few minutes. Coach, you're starting off 2-0. That's the goal, right?
Hey, man, that is the goal. 2-0. I'm excited about the wins, and you read about and you see those guys on TV. They're getting upset all across the country. So, you got to be able to try to get better every day and try to win those games. And I think we put ourselves in position to kind of set ourselves up for a really good next few weeks.
Absolutely. And a lot of these guys, we talked about it a few weeks ago when you came on the show. We talked about the aspect of these guys haven't really played together yet. A lot of these guys are new with the transfers and, Jabari being a freshman, but they've seemed to have gelled pretty well. I mean, they looked great in the opener against Morehead. That first half against ULM was a little shaky, but all in all, you've got to be happy with what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I really like our team. I do. I think we've got a bunch of guys who really care about each other and play for each other. And, we talk about this a lot. We really haven't gone through any adversity yet. Didn't play well versus ULM in the first half, but what are we going to do when adversity really hits? That's when you find out how well you've gelled, et cetera. But I'll be honest with you, I'm excited about where we are. I'm excited about the potential of what we have and just trying to get better every day. And I think that'll be the focus today. How can we get better? Don't worry about who you're playing tomorrow or the next day or whatever. It's all about can we get better today?
Sure. Coach, it seems like this team has already bought into the importance of playing defense, and they're not going to get minutes if they don't play on the defensive side of the court. How does that work as far as coaching? I mean, college basketball has become such a big, offensive sport, but your guys seem to be ready to play some defense.
Well, that kind of starts at the top. Obviously, BP, Coach Pearl always talks about, if you're going to win championships, you got to defend and rebound. And I think that's a major part of it. And so it's something we put a lot of emphasis on. And we don't want to just guard you. We want to try to make plays on the defensive side of the ball. We want to look for opportunities to steal and to take charges and do the things, block shots, which have been a big part of what we've done the first two games. How can we impact the game on the defensive end? And I think that's what you're seeing. And I honestly believe we have a chance to be really good on the defensive end. We're not there yet. We're still missing assignments early in the year. But that's the one thing I think if we can kind of get locked in and continue to improve every day, we could be a really good defensive team.
Coach, I mean, as far as missing those assignments, is that just a lack of reps thing? Is it a miscommunication? Is it a lack of execution? What all goes into that?
Yeah, really, you just said it all, and I think it's a little bit of all of that. I think I think we do need more reps, and I think we need to learn how to play together. People talk about that on the offensive end a lot, but I think it matters just as much or more on the defensive end. And I think the communication, which you just mentioned as well, is a huge part of it also. And I think, for example, on a ball screen, you need your big man, you need your 5-man talking to the guard to tell him which way to force the defender, the offensive player. And I think, once we get more comfortable in those defensive schemes, I think the reps then will take place. And again, I think we have a chance to be really good at it. It's something we work at a lot. We obviously got an elite shot blocker at the rim. We got some quickness on the perimeter. And so we just need more reps.
When you play more guys, Coach, does it make it more difficult to do those things? Or is it, do you set it up as a coach where everything's kind of the same as far as communication goes? But a lot of that's feel, right? And kind of knowing what other guys around you are going to do.
Yeah, so true. I think so. And again, I think as we continue to play together, I think you're going to see us continue to improve. I like what I'm seeing though. I like what I'm seeing from the effort standpoint, which I think is the foundation of being a great defensive team. We're flying around, we're blocking shots at the rim. We've got to do a better job of keeping our guy in front of us, and so we don't have to block quite so many shots at the rim. And obviously, every time you block a shot, now the ball's free. So are we going to go tackle what we call those 50-50 balls? There's a loose ball. Who's gonna go pursue the ball and possess the ball? And I think that's one of the things that we continue to talk about. You must finish the possession on the defensive end. Whether that's a block shot and a 50-50 ball, or if that's a rebound, or if that's a steal or a charge, we've got to make a play. That's something we continue to emphasize.
Coach, you guys traveled to Tampa to take on South Florida on Friday. What do we know about this team?
Well, they're athletic. They love to run and transition. And I think the biggest thing for us is it'll be the first time we're away from home. And, when you have 7, 8 new players, you have a bunch of guys that are not used to being in that position, you really don't know how they will react. I feel the preparation will be fantastic, as always is. We'll be ready to play. But how do we handle the moment? How do we handle a little adversity on the road? And those are things that matter. But you have to go through it to kind of get to that point. We're excited to continue to learn about our team, continue to put our team in those positions where we've got to make some adjustments. And that's what it's all about. Now, going on the road and trying to get a win against a very athletic South Florida team.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and best of luck Friday.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, War Eagle.
That does it for this week's edition of Auburn Basketball Weekly, of course, presented by Locked On Auburn. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, as Locked On Auburn is a daily Auburn Tigers podcast. And for Tuesday, we'll be joined by Charlie 5, Auburn message board legend, for the weekly Charlie Tuesday segment. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that like button, subscribe, means a ton. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave us a review. It means a ton, really helps out the show. We'll be back tomorrow right here on Locked On Auburn.